Hello, everyone. This is the first time to attend this conference, and I'm glad to share you what we have done and will do with the blockchain technology here, and I will show the use case on the automotive industry. Okay, first of all, and I will introduce Wanxiang Group in advance. Wanxiang Group is a multinational enterprise established in the 1969, and we have three sectors that mainly focus on the agriculture and the finance and auto parts and vehicle logistics and electrical vehicles. And among them, financial holdings including insurance, asset management, fund trust, third-party payment, and the leasing feature, and the fintech. And Wanxiang blockchain belongs to the fintech section. And since 2014, Wanxiang is laying out blockchain technology. We have already invested over 100 worldwide startups in the world. Wanxiang is a major player in the global blockchain industry. And while cooperating with the global team to research and underlying blockchain technology, Wanxiang also provides a customized and a comprehensive solution for relative industries. Like we based up IoT device and AI technology and experience in the industrial experience and the financial service. The man on the left on the picture is our founder, Mr. Lu Guanqiu. He is a second person who appears at the top of the cover of U.S. News Weeks. And the first Chinese is President Deng in 1978. My speech is including three parts: blockchain technologies, first tryout in auto industries, and what is next. First, you can see the two big boss in China is President Xi and Jack Ma from Alibaba. You know that nearly 1 year ago, Xi announced that the blockchain technology is one of the core technology in the future, like the same as the AI and quantum communication and IoT equipment. So from this, we can see that they proved for us what we are doing now is quite valuable. And how we position the blockchain with other new technologies like AI and the big data. We consider the AI and the big data as a productive force, and the blockchain is production relations. All of them combined together will become the algorithm era, new era. And it's really, the blockchain can make the productive force works more closer, much more closer. And when we talk about the blockchain technology, the first we mentioned or we heard is the traceable, decentralization, and tamper evident. We consider it has a four main character of blockchain technology. The first is peer-to-peer communication and a consensus algorithm and the cryptography, chain opinion storage structure, and a smart contract. And what can we achieve based on blockchain? First, our data is controlled by ourselves. That means data sovereignty. And the next, our tamper evident history is witnessed by our together. It brings us multi-party trust. And the last is the new pattern of the incentive and governance. Monopoly removal and a win-win for all. So that's the understanding of blockchain technology. And the new centuries lead us the digital economy. The internet enables us to collect massive data at low cost, and AI can process massive data at low cost. And what about blockchain? We thought it can enable us to trust massive data at low cost. It's very important because we are going to create thousands times more data than before, even 100,000 times. we must have found a new tool to help us to distinguish what kind of data is reliable. Okay, and the second part is about the use case. Before I introduce the use case, I wanted to share my understanding of the industrial internet and consumer internet. There's many big successful internet companies in the world, like Facebook, Apple, Google, Alibaba, Tencent, right? It's all big brothers in consumer internet. What is consumer internet? It's including personalized scenarios, catering, shopping, traveling, entertainment, and social. It brings us a lot in our own life, and the user base is the key, and the user engagement is a mode. In China, we go out without a wallet, right? The only thing we worried about is our phone is dead. So you may see that many of us like to carry a charging pad with us, right? And you can find the charging pad lease equipment everywhere. The consumer internet brings us a lot, and the life looks brilliant. But actually, we lost something more important. That's personal privacy. For example, when you install an app on your phone, you must agree a protocol of usage in advance, right? I don't know whether you have opened it and read the terms of privacy. I did that several times, and you will find they are all nearly the same. You must allow the service provider to touch your personal information, get your phone number, get your address, and even your use habit, like what you are searching and what you are reading and who you are connected with. So it's creepy, right? And in recent years, these big brothers started to talk about industrial internet. The industrial internet, including manufacture, supply chain, and trading, finance, right? But it's not so easy for them to handle it like consumer internet. Because the enterprise production, the enterprise value is data sovereignty. And the financial and other institutions requires mutual trust among the various players. The stride through in the industry chain is a key, and incentive governance is a mode. It's enabled by the IoT device, blockchain, and AI, so it's quite different. And now allow me to introduce our principle of blockchain application from Wanxiang. The first is do not use blockchain only for using it. Before you're using it, please consider whether it can bring you any benefits, like more efficiency, lower cost, or higher quality. And do not touch the private data of each participant in blockchain. That we communicate with many companies with this technology. All of them is cared about their own data. No one will enjoy the service at the cost of sharing their data, so that's important. The third is blockchain should be based on open source technology. We always call it a trust machine, right? And we shouldn't make it as a black box. We should open it, let everyone read it, know it, and learn it. Then the use case. This is a picture of a launch when we, at the end of last November in Shanghai. Wanxiang Blockchain, DBS, and Zhongdu Logistics from Beijing Automotive, we together make a launch for our vehicle logistics platform. We call it vehicle logistics chain. And here's a word from the chairman of Zhongdu Logistics. The problems in efficiency and cost has been solved, and we are open a new chapter. Next, in this scenario, we mainly face 4 challenges. The first is a long processing time and a high cost for paper documents, which is prone to be lost and stained. And under the increasingly common multimodal transportation mode, it's more difficult for various partners to work cooperating with each other. And the next, the time of calculation between upstream and downstream business partner is quite long. Carriers' accounts receivable turnover ratio is low. And the last is the downstream carriers' credit score are not very good. The financing for them is difficult and expensive. And here you can see the chart of structure of our platform. We linked all players together. And they are the sales head office from the car makers, logistic contractors, carriers, and dealers. We connect their own system by API. You can see the DMS, BMS, TMS, all of them are their own system. And we integrate them all in the blockchain. And we will make every essential operation data in blockchain, like order confirmation, waybill confirmation, car receiving signature, invoice, contracts. Every essential movement will record in our blockchain. And what we have done, you can see for that as business data encryption, decryption, 100,000 per second, and the loop time saved for processing over 13 days, and save direct operation cost 1 million per 350,000 cars. And financing from application to completion is 2 plus 0, and now over 40 carriers registered in the platform. From today, our platform has launched already for nearly half a year, and the logistic service run on it is cost over 100 million RMB, and the DBS loan to the carrier is counted over 10 million RMB. And what's the feature of this union or this platform? The first we call is cooperation. Sharing data with relative enterprise by API helps them to improve the optional efficiency. And then business inspection. It's important for the financial institute like a bank. Recording key business data hash on blockchain throughout the whole working process to make sure the data is true and reliable. The second is data sovereignty. Make sure data sovereignty by using encryption tag, and irrelevant party cannot touch it. And the last is union governance. The platform has a union governance mechanism that supports and encourages more players to join the union. And what will we explore next? Maybe on the agency procurement and the auto parts, financing, and the after-sale market parts. And the last section is what could be next. First, we thought the auto industry will be redefined. The first automobile evolution was triggered by the following factors, like production line, tailor system, billable hours, internal combustion engines, hard roadway, steel, traffic, blah, blah, many of it. And the second evolution is ongoing. We thought it is triggered by battery, sharing economic models, telematics, 5Gs, big data, AI, and a blockchain, right? Now it's ongoing. It's really ongoing now. And then we can find out clue by timeline. In the past, this industry is driven by mechanical. And now it's driven by electricity. You can find the EV cars on the road in China everywhere now. And then next, we thought it's driven by the data. Okay, let's see the business model. We start for the telematics. There are 5 phases. The first, to make the automobile into network, and make network to digitalization, then make data into asset, and make assets tradable, and the last, make the trade in financial ways. There are short sentence. There are 5 short sentence. But when we make it into realistic, it's quite difficult and complicated. And what the blockchain can play, or the blockchain roles in it. Actually, the blockchain can play a lot. We only list a part of them. Like account for facility data privacy protection, facility data exchange, make a facility data into asset, then the digital currency, transaction payment, zero knowledge proof, homomorphic encryption, and secret multi-party computation. So that's the part of blockchain can do now or in the future. Token. We talk about token vista of tokenization for the future. We cannot miss token when we talking about blockchain. It's like the blood in body make the blockchain dynamic. On the left, you can see the ecosystem around the autopilot cars, right? It's a big topic. People may have the cars also will have digital IDs, as well as the passenger, the drivers will also have the digital IDs, and around them you can see that they will communicate with transportation facility, and even smart home, supply chain, insurance, leasing, traveling. It's a big scenario, and I think it will be coming in 5 years, very quick. And on the right, you can see the 2 names of token. It's temporarily defined by my own. I call it a case token and base token. The case token is like a utility token. What can it do? It can represent for data, like the whole usage history for a car, and represent for assets, like electric charging station. And it also can represent for the service resources. For example, when I was a carrier and I have 10 trucks available next week, and I can make it as a token and offer it into market. And also can for the clearing and the settlement for ecosystem, because it's stable, right? And the base token can be used to pay for service fee, which provided by the ecosystem, blockchain ecosystem. And can anyone participate in business ecological governance by holding the token, like voting, right? And it established incentives for consumers. Of course, it can be done for investment and transactions. Okay, and at the end of my speech, I want to quote an opinion from my big boss, Dr. Zhao. He said on the Global Blockchain Summit from Hangzhou last month. He said the topic is how to make the blockchain commercially available on a large scale. And he thinks we need technology, we need economic incentives, and we need community governance. We should make them in the way of modeling, algorithmization, and coding. When all of them combine together, realize together, and here comes the new era of the blockchain. So let's stand in together and make it happen. Okay, thank you for listening.